Good afternoon. Today's Saturday. It's the 19th of April. And I have not posted in forever. I think it's been 2.5, 3 weeks. The last time I shared anything here, I was in Spain. And now I am back in the UK, and welcome to Saba's Way of Life. So today is the first day since I arrived back from Spain that I'm actually cooking properly. I mean, I cook all my meals really, though I've been eating very little, but I've been cooking in the kitchen because I am taking a couple of meals over to a friend's tomorrow ahead of a long walk in Oxfordshire or in the Downs, and I'm really looking forward to it. So before I go outside, I'll just show you what I haven't done in the garden, but still something to show and share and inspire. I will just show you what's cooking and what the vegetarian dishes are that I've cooked. So I have cooked a lentil curry. Let me just turn this the other way. Right. Camera's not very clean. Anyway, I've cooked a regular beautiful dal, and this is masoor dal that I've cooked, and I've actually put some green lentils in as well. The green lentils give it that kind of thick texture. A very few green lentils, but more of it is the masoor, which is the orange lentils you may have seen. When you cook them, they go yellow. This has been cooking for a good 2 or 3 hours. Before that, I soaked the lentils in water. And I've switched it off now because it's kind of the consistency I want, and I will finish it off at my friend's house tomorrow. I'll add in here coriander, fresh green coriander, green chilies, and then I will make a baghar, which is ghee. Has to be homemade ghee. You fry onions in ghee. You can infuse the ghee with curry leaves or with garlic, something like that, if you want to. It's got plenty of garlic in there anyway, along with other spices. And then once the onions are turning brown, a golden brown, you turn the whole frying pan over into the lentils. And it's awesome with hot chapatis. I have also made, let me switch this around, I bought an aloo palak. Now the difference is, it's quite often known as saag aloo because that's the Punjabi word, but we call it in Urdu aloo palak. Now the palak is spinach, but I've used a mixture of different greens. I have used the mustard greens that have been growing in abundance in my garden, and I have, you can see it here, and I've also used frozen spinach, which was in my freezer but out of my garden last year. And I've put coriander leaves in, which I'm also growing in my garden, but I went out and bought them this morning. I came home and thought, what have I done? I've got coriander in my garden. Crazy. And then I've also put fenugreek, dried fenugreek in, which wasn't from my garden, but I have dried fenugreek in the past. And I've actually got some dried fenugreek somewhere. Got to find it. Not sure what I've done with it. So on top of that, I've made a lovely wholemeal chapati dough. Took some over earlier on to my parents to cook the chapati, and we had lunch together. It's always nice to have lunch together. And then I'm also making just two regular loaves of bread. I'll take one over tomorrow with the lunch, and the other one I'm going to give to my mum. So it's just done its first proof in the fridge, and then it's going to be ready for its second proof straight after I've completed the video. Some lovely mangoes here. I know they're not local, I know that, but I love mangoes, and they're selling them now at the Indian groceries, and they are expensive, but you know, I haven't bought too many. They're lovely as a dessert afterwards. They kind of clear the palate as well. So that is the cooking that I've done. What else is going on today? It's a DIY day. I know it's Easter Saturday, but who cares? I mean, Sunday, yes, I understand, but I'm still doing things in my garden and around the house. And, you know, when you feel motivated to do it, do it. Today is a lovely sunny day. They said it was going to rain, but it didn't. And this year, let me turn this around. I've done nothing in my garden, and I'm just going to see what happens. I've just barely managed to sow some heritage tomato seeds in my own homemade compost, which is not ideal, folks, because you know you need kind of really fine compost, and I haven't had time to sieve it or anything. But the grass is fine. It's afternoon, so it's shaded on that side. It's a north-facing garden, so the sun's coming in from the other side, opposite side of the greenhouse. I've given the lawn a initial cut, but you know, look, these, as Ian, a very good friend of mine, was saying the other day when he came, he said, Saba, most of your shrubs are established now, and they're just going to grow beautifully as spring moves on. And he would know because he works outdoors with property and around landscaping. He sees what's going on. So yeah, the shrubs are looking really lovely. You've got all sorts here growing. You know, you've got the Japanese maple over here, and then you've got the rhodie, the dwarf rhododendron, and this is the Moroccan mint last year, which is propagating as mint does. It dies off and then it kind of spreads, and I'm going to put this out in the ground at some point. And this is the wild mint, which has done the same thing, and my God, it smells beautiful. Just smelling the scent of this Moroccan mint is just amazing, and I really need to water it and then put it out into the ground because I don't mind this spreading. It's lovely. Once again, you saw this last year, Welsh onion, and Welsh onion is eaten for the stalks. It's like spring onion greens. They're just delicious. These beautiful orange flowers are about to bloom. They're stunning, and I cannot remember the name of them. That's an azalea here, which is going to have deep white flowers later on in the year. And the strawberries, they just propagate. I mean, literally, I love strawberries, but they're a menace. They just propagate everywhere. So the figs, I had really hard pruned it last year, very hard pruned, and I thought nothing would happen this year, but look, it's quite early on, and these are forming really beautifully. Can you see them? Even there. It's lovely, really, really lovely. Now, apple tree. Look at the blossoms on the apple tree, folks. These were in a pot 2 years ago in the centre of the garden, a big pot, right? They didn't like it. I moved them from the pot last spring, and I put them out, not spring, I think it was winter, can't remember when, autumn even, and I put them into the ground, and last year nothing bloomed, wasn't expecting it to, and didn't want it to. We needed the energy to go down into the roots to establish them. Now they've established, both the trees have got beautiful apple blossom. Look at that. Look at that, and hopefully we'll have some beautiful apples. Going backwards, that tree up there is a peach tree, and last year I didn't get a single peach. Why? The squirrels had them all. And this year I'm hoping my cat Luna, he will deter them because he's chasing everything at the moment, and I might have to put some netting or something over it, which is a pain, but when the fruits start coming out, that's what I might have to do to prevent the squirrels from grabbing them all. What the squirrels do, I don't mind sharing a few with them, but what they do is they take a bite out of them and then throw them on the ground. Throw them mainly in my neighbour's house. She told me she'd got peaches all over the ground, and they go to pick them up, and they've got this teeth marks in every single one. Cheeky little things. The plum tree has already flowered, and now we should have the little baby plums on there. I did spray it this year with neem, not with aspirin, and I hope those awful moths that were there the first, can you see? Oh look, what am I doing? Can you see these tiny, where my fingers are, these tiny baby plums? See, these plums last year were magnificent, and this tree was bejewelled and it was bedazzling with beautiful Victoria plums and lots of green foliage. It was so spectacular to look at from inside the house. Remember, I've done nothing this year at all. Now you can see down here you've got the mustard greens. I was showing you what I cooked earlier. I have harvested most of them. I'm actually taking off the ones that are flowering because I don't want them to flower just yet. Or seed. I want to keep harvesting the leaves. So they're there, they're doing all right, and there's a whole load more in the greenhouse. This is what I want to show you when you least expect things. It's a real mess here. I haven't really tended this side of the garden. Look at the coriander here. I sowed this coriander last September, October, and just left it. And I sowed it with the garlic. These are garlic here, growing in all of these pots. You see, folks, look. The garden may look messy. Who cares? Things are growing in it. That's what it's for. Tend your soil. Don't worry about how things look. We're living in a society that's so attached to its identity. It's so diseased and sick of mind, mentally ill. We've all been there, but there are obviously many of us who are still human, proper humans that understand who we are to some degree. And we understand that we are and should be aligned to nature, which is beyond identity. When nature is left to do its own thing, it thrives. When you mess around with it, might look pretty on the outside, but it's dead on the inside. Dead of brain, dead of mind, dead of body. So keep that in mind. I keep repeating that. Let's go into the greenhouse. Look at these greens here. So these are mustard greens as well, and they really love the greenhouse. I've harvested, I'm saying, a whole massive sink full. But they're growing because I keep harvesting some more here. So I'm very, very pleased. Now over here I've got, hopefully, tomatoes germinating, but it's too dry and I don't know if it's going to work. I'm going to go and water it now. I think I might have killed them. But anyway, we shall see. We shall see. Compost, plenty of it here. All sorts of stuff growing out of it though. And that's the second compost heap. So this is what my garden looks like when I've done pretty much nothing. No more hens this year. I've been there, done it. Done the hens, done the rabbits. And this year, my own connection to source intelligence, you know, I'm at that kind of place in life. You know, all of you aspire to do this, because when you're living as a slave, your 9-to-5 jobs, or even running a business, you are living as a controlled slave in the system. And I did that for years before waking up to recognize that that's not life. And life isn't working like a slave either, and then they're saying, oh, guess what, I'm going to go on a holiday. No. You want to live in absolute freedom, and the way to do that, as many are realizing now, as control mechanisms try and tighten on us, they're collapsing. That's why more and more people are recognizing that their freedoms matter, and they're doing everything to get out of the system. And by doing that, the actual system is collapsing. That's what's making the system collapse. Our own consciousness is changing and saying no more. We want freedom for us, for our children. We're not playing this game anymore, and we've had enough. It's already happening on a subconscious level, and as consciousness changes, the external form outside changes for the better too. And as it changes for the better, the old system starts to collapse, and it looks very fearful for those who don't understand how it works. This is quantum reality. We create our reality. everything that's happened historically, the wars and so on, is all created by our mass consciousness. Because what we see, we perpetuate and create. This is a fact. This is all in the study of epigenetics and, to a degree, metaphysics and quantum physics most of all. In fact, everything works in a quantum manner. Health, everything. All the old systems are going. Even the old systems which claim they're holistic, they're not. When you really seek to understand, they're not. They're all part of the system. You can't be holistic when you're in the matrix. You're living with the matrix, in the matrix, around the matrix, and then you're saying you're holistic. I mean, I was like that for a long time, but you know, you start to recognize that no, you create your reality. Your thoughts matter. Where you put your attention to matters, is everything, absolutely everything. And then externally, as more and more people tune in to that frequency, the old system starts to collapse and a new reality is birthing, which is happening not just on a small local scale, but on a cosmological scale, hugely. I'll talk more about that another time. Anyway, I hope you all have a good day. It's been 16 minutes and there is something else I wanted to show you. I have taken my camper van out now, and this is another thing. It's so much fun doing this. These are all skills, and it's really wonderful to have all these different skills because it helps your mind stay fresh, stay focused, stay alive, stay smart, and you think with clarity. I am taking my camper van out, and there's a lot of work to do to get it out, apart from putting air in the tyres, checking the water, the oil, making sure that you've got the insurances and road tax, all that's done. But also, you know, I've got the WD-40. I mean, I would say, ladies, you might not know what this is, but most men don't even know these days. Oh God, what have we got to in our world? This is great. This is a kind of solution that gets rid of rust and helps parts of the vehicle. For example, the runners slide smoothly and it just absorbs excess moisture and so on. Cleans, protects, loosens rusted parts, stops squeaks and frees sticky mechanisms. So I'm doing that. I'm also going to put oil different places and give the camper van, hang on, just make sure I don't lock myself out. Oh, hold on. I'm going to give it a little wash as well. Can you see it? Yeah, it's a lovely thing, this camper van. So I'll get the hose pipe out and just give it a little brush. I won't worry about the soap. But this is so much fun to drive. And last year I took it to Scotland. See if I can open this with one hand. No, I can't. But another time I will show you the inside of it. You can see the seating here. It's got Volkswagen seats. It's been completely refurbished. It was actually a fireman's bus. It's about 30 years old. And then the seats were ripped out and it was turned into a fully equipped camper van. So that's another job for this afternoon. Okay folks, well, have a lovely Saturday and enjoy your Easter Sunday. Hope you're using it for family time. I will be walking somewhere in the Oxfordshire landscape, maybe in the Downs, I don't know. I'm being taken somewhere which is really nice, so let's see where I end up. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye.